What's the most important way to lead a conversation? Stick with us and find out on today's Live at the Gym. So what's the most powerful way to lead a conversation? Asking great questions. Questions drive focus. And in today's communication practice session, we'll be showing you an exercise that will help you to ask better questions and build better relationships. Let's start with our TCG members who are joining us in this section. We're going to start with Greg Drake. Greg is the owner of one of the owners of 360 Tours based in central Pennsylvania with locations in 15 additional states. Greg, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Not a whole lot to tell, Dale. I love business. I love helping people. Communication, I think, is one of the most important things that we can do as humans in and out of business. And, I just really, really enjoy taking others passionately and helping them be successful in business. So.
Excellent. That's what drives your success, bud. It's great to have you here. Our second member today joining us is Nathan Imboden. And Nathan is a vice president and co-owner of Questmont Strategic Wealth Advisors with offices in Pennsylvania and Florida. Nathan, welcome, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thanks, Dale. Well, unlike Greg, I have a lot to share about myself. No, I'm just kidding. Central Pennsylvania boy, fell in love with financial planning and wealth management when I was in college, and have had the fortunate opportunity to be part of a massively growing firm. We have up to now 18 people, hopefully soon to be 19. And as Greg said, I love helping people. I love helping our staff and employees just continue to be better versions of themselves. And Dale, we've had the fortunate relationship for over 10 years. Started a long time ago. I might have been wearing a similar color suit with some great video content you have of me of young Nathan. But I'm excited to be here and helping to show some examples of how we can try to communicate better.
Awesome. Well, I have those old videos stored in the vault for some time when you run for public office. We'll save them. But I couldn't be happier to have the two of you join us. And as far as we know, this is the world's first live communication practice session published to the world, broadcast to the world. So excited to have you guys on there. What we really want to do today is show what a communication practice session looks like, invite other people to participate, and invite other people to watch so that they can continue to improve the quality of their lives by improving the quality of their communication. We're going to focus today on one of the most powerful skills that you can have as a leader, as a conversationalist, as a curious person, is asking powerful questions. And we're going to start with a very simple exercise. We're going to do two phases of that exercise, and it's called the question game. Now, there's only one rule in the question game. You can only ask questions. If you make a statement or if you wait too long, and this is fresh to you guys, for those of you watching, these guys are coming into this pretty green too. So our intention is to get real world reactions and real world session. So we'll start with just seeking to ask questions. If you pause for too long, or if you make a statement, you'll get a buzz and we'll restart. The one thing I'll ask you to do is state your question to another person so we can volley the questions around and move it forward. Then we'll take a break quick, and then we'll add another caveat to show how questions can drive the focus of your conversations, which is really our goal today, to help people understand how important the questions you ask are and to give you an additional tools to ask better questions. So Nathan, are you ready to get started?
Dale, I think I'm ready to get started if you are.
Which was not a question.
I know.
You saw what I was doing and you caught
I did, yeah. And you trapped me. I wanted to say yes. You trapped me.
All right. Greg, do you think Nathan knows where we're going with this?
Nathan, do you know where we're going with this?
Dale, what are you trying to accomplish with this?
Is it important for us to start with our objective, with our end game in mind, Nathan?
Greg, do you think it helps to understand what somebody's goal is before engaging in a conversation?
Only if you understand the goal can you be able to ask the right questions, such as, what are your goals, Nathan?
You were working so hard to turn that into a question, Greg.
Yeah. Nathan? Yeah.
I didn't get the buzzer. So.
Yeah.
Did I get the buzzer?
You got the buzzer. Yeah, you got buzzed. And so to start on this, and you guys, we jumped right into the meeting portion of it. And you guys are savvy enough communicators to see where we're going there. The goal of this initial phase is to break the habit of answering a question with a question. The reason questions are so powerful is because when you ask someone a question, the brain wants to answer that question. It's an immediate thing. When I say, Greg, what color shirt does Nathan have on? Your brain throws an answer out there, right? Pops it out. We want to break that habit internally, mentally for you, so that we can start you getting in terms of what's the second and third tier information that's important here. Where are we going? Why are they asking this question? And to create a meaningful thread with the questions. The question game is not a real world exercise. Everything we do in the communication gym doesn't have to be real world. You don't do sit-ups out in the real world. You do sit-ups to develop muscles. So we're looking at developing some muscles here. So you guys did a great job of leading us into the second phase of the question game, which was to try and drive a meaningful conversation only using questions. So we see that pause when I ask Nathan a question and he's looking for some way to turn what his answer is into a question, right? So stick with that pause, and what we'll hopefully see here is an opportunity to take the conversation and find a thread and work with it by asking questions. So we'll jump back into the exercise, and I'll start with you, Greg. Greg, what do you think is one of the more powerful skills needed by a business owner in today's day and age?
Why do you believe that that's such an important question?
Well done. Buzz on me. But I'll come back to it. Why do I think it's such an important question? Nathan, do you think, in your experience, do you think it's critical to know where you're going before you start off on a conversation?
Dale, I'm curious if you know people who have been successful not knowing where they're going when they're starting a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Where have you found these people in your past, Nathan?
Greg, have you found any common professions of people that seem to have difficulty engaging in meaningful conversations?
If you're asking what I think you're asking, no, that wasn't it. Darn it. Was. I thought I was going somewhere.
Yeah, you were, but our mind wants to give that answer, right? It wants to.
The interesting thing is that it's developing the ability to not think about the answer already. Yeah. Because of that. So my brain's not immediately going to that. It's like, how do I make that question? So.
Yep. and that's exactly, Greg, what this exercise is designed to do. And it's the reason we frame the communication gym is what it is, because we want to create exercises to make your brain and your body do different things so that we break old habit patterns that keep you going in the same way, so that we can introduce some new habit patterns. So let's do another 2-minute session here, just the question game, and see if we can continue to move forward. Great exercise. You guys are doing a great job, because we see it's so funny in this, because we see the brain working, right? You're going, I got to turn this into a thing. Greg, what would you what's your number one skill, do you think, in business that people should know?
How would you like me to frame that question?
Tell me, please, I'm going to make a statement. What do you mean by frame?
How I would elaborate and detail. Is that important to what you're asking?
Nathan, to get us out of that one, and ask Nathan, what is your perspective on a powerful business skill that someone could learn?
Dale, do you think there are multiple traits that make somebody a powerful business communicator or powerful in business?
Greg, could you identify any specific traits, 2 or 3, that might make someone more successful in business?
Nathan, how would I go about identifying those traits?
Well, Dale, as the expert, would know the answer to this question, but are there certain situations where different traits are more prevalent than others?
That's a great spot to stop, guys, because we found the thread, right? The last 3 questions we got there found the thread that was getting us down deeper into something better to understand. And thank you guys for being willing to do this, being thrown into the fire here a little bit, and being willing to learn in public. It's one of the most important aspects of the communication gym, is if you're willing to learn in public, we can teach each other so much by practicing being vulnerable, learning new skills. And we just got to where the rubber meets the road, right? Because that skill that we're working on there is breaking that pattern and then finding a meaningful thread within the conversation that takes us where we want to go. And we did that. And every time I've done this exercise, once we find it, the people in the group recognize, oh, there's the thread. There's where we're heading. That's the gold. That's the purpose of this exercise, to help you find those threads as you continue to go forward, and then get better at uncovering them as you seek for what's objectively true, so that we can become much better at being great problem solvers. One of the things that questioning does is it helps us find out what's objectively true and what we're really dealing with, when so many people just deal with that surface level of what's actually happening. So great job. You guys, did you have a thought there, Greg? Comment?
I was just going to say, Dale, I think you hit the nail on the head there with the vulnerability piece too. Doing this in public, making yourself vulnerable. You can't solve problems with always wanting your outcome or not listening and understanding to the other person. And making yourself vulnerable is an important practice skill to understand and know that that's okay.
Yeah, perfectly said. And we can learn from other people's mistakes. We put ourselves in a position to teach 100 other people. When we make a lesson or when we learn something, we put ourselves in a position to teach a lot of other people. So I want to thank the 2 of you for doing this. I really appreciate it. I hope it was valuable for our audience, and for anybody else who is watching this live or as it comes down the road. I want to close out by thanking you for joining us, especially Greg and Nathan, for being willing to help us. Our goal is to inspire you to practice your communication skills so that you can continually improve your quality of life. In the comments section below, we'll post the link so that you can grab a page from the TCG playbook and you can get busy practicing your powerful questions. And also, I want to invite you to join us next week at 11:30 Eastern for another live communication workout. Greg and Nathan, thank you guys so much I really appreciate it. Forward to seeing all of you at the gym.
Thanks, Dale. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dale.
Guys.